Yeah, I was seeing one guy who was like doing a class, and you know, he hit hit the bag so hard that the little piece on the bottom flew out. You know, so it's like
I'm notorious for that. As a matter of fact.
How many years have you been doing the the cane training, and how did you develop it?
Yeah,
You
so
know,
three decades. I've been doing this for 3 decades, so that's 30 years
Yeah.
That we've been doing this. And what caught the attention was I had a background already in martial arts training.
Right.
And in the traditional martial arts, there are quote unquote weapons that are associated with those arts. And
Right.
for instance, in my case, coming from the Japanese martial arts, the sword.
Oh, the sword. Nice.
Absolutely loved it.
Right.
Put in a lot of time and a lot of work doing
Right.
that. It has an empty hand carryover, so benefits there. I live in Miami. I can't hang around with a sword down South Beach as much as I would like to. I can't be that modern day Sam. I saw eventually as I reached the master ranks in one of the arts, they have a cane. They introduced the cane. You know, the cane is always, it's associated with, their limitation and injury and all these things.
Right.
Not particularly attractive, and especially if it's an aluminum cane that you get with insurance.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
look at it and, I'm a young guy, 20-year-old,
Yeah.
taking a look at this. However, the whole idea that I can walk around with it.
Yeah, nobody could tell you anything.
A mobility device that I can have out there, but by the same token.
Wow.
Yeah,
You could just, they'll be like, whoa, wait, maybe not.
You hear how it whisks through the air and the wind, and boy, that made sense to me. Okay, so it's a tool that creates distance for me.
Right.
And then at the same time, it's versatile enough that we can use it in a variety of situations for self-defense. And that was a huge eye-opener. And it was unusual, I think, certainly versus today, what we're learning for a 20-year-old to see that and then have a vision and say, oh, this makes sense to me moving forward. And at that time, of course, it was a very a new concept.
Right.
Certainly in the States and the development, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot that was going on, and that's what made sense to me early on. The system itself, it's designed so that it works with your adrenaline response. And here's what we know: under the duress of the moment, when the adrenaline is pumping, the fear and shock of the moment, that surprise. You've heard about these things. People get targeted all the time. You read the newspaper, you see it in the news.
Yeah.
But now it's happening to you, and you're not trained to do that. And so that adrenaline response interferes with your ability to make quick decisions in real time, but it also interferes with your physical coordination.
Right.
And so what we did very early on was acknowledge that and say, well, what is the best way that we can leverage this tool? This, in essence, is an impact tool.
Right.
Impact tool on the human body seeks bone. It's not to hokey pokey and go to the flesh. So in essence, it's a bone crusher. And so that people can pick up this tool and be effective in real time. So in the first 2.5 hours of training and instruction, you should be able to walk out with one of our canes, which are designed specifically for mobility, for balance, for all the things that canes are associated with, but they can really withstand the rigors of training. Oh, and for self-protection, they're unmatched.
Right.
And so now with the training and that tool, which is very specific to what we do, when you walk out there, a criminal can't just walk up to you and put their hands on you.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're a force to be reckoned with.
For sure.
Who wants to see the three-dimensional propeller with strong assertive purpose? Back off! No, get away! Back off! Right? Who wants to stick their hand in
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna mess with you.
And so there's a lot softer targets out there than for me to see this three-dimensional propeller coming at me, being loud, calling attention to themselves. I have to make a quick decision, and that decision happens in the first 3 to 5 seconds.
Right.
Am I going to risk coming at this target that is not what I thought it was and risk getting cracked?
Yeah.
Or am I going to live to rob another day or whatever it was you were up to? And that happens fast.
Right.
So that's the basis of American cane style.
No, that's amazing. I love the story, and like I said before, I made your shirts, and I had no idea what I was making. You know, I'm like, what's this cane? I have no idea what this cane thing is. And then when I asked you, I was like, wow, I was so, intrigued on the whole concept of it. How long have you been doing it?
Been a black belt in karate for 52 years.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I've had more satisfaction the last 10 with a cane
Really?
than in all the other decades combined.
No way.
Yeah. I look forward to my sessions.
Yeah.
Some people think that exercise is drudgery. I look forward to it.
Oh.
Because it combines fitness, but you're also learning new skills.
Yeah, that's always good for the brain, You're,
And everything you do with the right hand, you have to do with the left hand.
wow.
So you're never one-dimensional.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing.
This is a style that's very unique to Grandmaster Rebane.
All right.
He
Well,
is the father of development. 76. Anyone that's going to attack me is likely going to be 1/3 my age, and they think they're stronger. They may be.
Right.
So I don't want to get in a grappling match.
no, of course
What
not.
happens is with a cane, we establish the cone of protection. So anything that you put in here, if you're trying to hurt me, is going to be broken.
Yeah.
And so using the power shots as the Grandmaster demonstrated, that's how we level the playing field.
Right.
And so that senior citizens don't become victims.
Yeah, of course.
It
It's
gives you the ability to walk, to carry on your life without being in fear.
yeah. If somebody comes up to somebody your age, a young person, and you show them, you have a cane, and they think that, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this guy all of a sudden, and then you start doing that technique, they're going to be like, oh, I think I can find somebody a lot easier to attack, over here down the street.
3 things to do. A, avoid bad areas.
Yeah.
You don't want to be mugged in an alley at 2 a.m. Don't go in alleys at 2 a.m.
Yeah, of course.
Second thing, be alert. If you're paying more attention to your cell phone and your surroundings, you probably could be victimized.
Yeah.
And the third, carry a cane.
Yeah.
The cane and the Grandmaster's training make it a powerful combination.
And it's not set up to just be one shot,
Right.
right? So you come over here, back off. The verbals have a strong psychological effect. And now if I need to follow it up, I really don't want to go to the head. I don't want to.
Right.
But you have to make that decision, right? If it's that you fear for your life, then I'm going to do what I have to do.
Yeah, of course.
But I also have options. But here's the thing: if I do away with the limbs, if I shut this down, I win every time because now that limb is no longer any good. And again, 1 shot and 2 shots and 3 shots and so on and so forth. And they're all like an educated fighter. They're all to
Right.
areas that count. We're not coming from out here where he can see it, because
Right.
this is part of it. He can see this coming from a mile away, and a lot of times we treat it like he's a bag that doesn't strike back. No, he has reflexes. Watch this, right? Come, whoop, right? He sees this coming, right? He puts his hand up. He puts his hand up. So it's got to be in. He can't stop that.
Right.
Did you see it? He wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it. And I didn't have to look down,
Right.
and I just struck the shin. Now imagine doing that with a metal pipe. Now, so if you were to find yourself in a situation where you do break through that distance, because that's the thing. What happens now if you get surprised and the hands come in here?
Right.
You're good. So it's built in. If you look down here, right, I'm able to strike down here, able to strike, and the rule is, in this case, this is wood. Wood on bone hurts. It's an impact tool. So when I do this, right, see how he taps automatically? Boom, you move it away. right? And I'm being very, very gentle. So things like, yeah, he comes in here, the ability to get him off of here, right, and go ahead and strike. Or any grabs, you know, that are coming here, he's throwing a shot, oh, there it gets caught. The locking up, right, opening, boom, being able to move and coming here. The distance, right, so there's several of you here in this room, that windshield wiper, right, which if I do it in real time, right, you can generate 200 miles per hour in going in here to keep people at bay, so it becomes very, very practical at the different ranges.
Right.
There's a striking range, there's a grappling range, the designs on the canes, right, so this one in particular here has a very comfortable palm rest. Has a palm rest, but that palm rest now, you do come to put your hands here, push, and you do this, and I take that palm rest, and I bring it, I'm not even applying a lot of pressure. So if I'm just here, right, and I do this, then you're gonna have that kind of response. So it already has these built-in mechanisms, and it becomes, if you remember my hammering, right, and what I spoke about and how it's built in there, hey, I don't want any trouble, you push both hands, open up. Now, in essence, it becomes, right, a set of brass knuckles that I can strike with there. My hands are protected, and yet I have a very effective striking surface. The system originally, I came up with it because I had studied over 250 knife attacks, and I absolutely hate them. The problem that the knife presents is he has it in his hand right now, and you can't even see it. And then the attack is fast and furious. It happens like this. Right? So it's not like you might see in a martial arts demonstration where he flips. I mean, that's a different type of representation. The reality of it is you might be at an ATM, you might be anywhere, and all of a sudden this thing is already on you. So given the opportunity that we're having application, he reaches for his pocket, right, to bring this out, and now you realize what you're dealing with. If you do have that opportunity, then again, that power shot template with the strong verbals, back, because anywhere that this hits, it's going to crush bones.
For sure.
The tool is designed for that, with that in mind, and the training is designed to maximize that concept. So again, this is what the knife individual, right, you're dealing with your best defense against a knife is distance, and this is a distance maximizer. And drop, yep, and do it one more time, and drop. And so in doing this, he has to make that one move because that gun cannot be out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you say draw.
Okay.
And he's going to do the exact same thing.
Okay. All right. Draw.
Sorry. And where did I hit? Where did I hit? Show me just for my. Oh, all that. So what happens, you know, if it's not a matter, you didn't see him draw, you didn't have the opportunity, and the next thing you know, you're getting out of your vehicle, you're getting out of your home, and the next thing you know is there it is. And he's telling you, you know, or your loved one, and he's telling them, get inside the van right now, give me your money, give me whatever you want. But the bottom line is the tool's here. Now, these kinds of things are not, because all he has to do is pull the trigger and you're done. And so we have to have a way of doing this, but there's no need to set down the tool itself. The tool then would become an asset if you understand how the mechanism works, the training, and the tactical strategy. He says something like,
hey, let's go. Come with me right now.
okay, where's the band?
Let's go. Right.
Got me? So if I break that down for you, there's only 3 steps to this. I need to clear the laser, which is that barrel. I need to anchor it and extract it, and I'm hitting to the inside of that radiola with something that's hard, that's solid. Boom, extraction, and this becomes a neuromuscular response, and then down. It's back on him, and who do those verbals sound like? Who says down? Law enforcement. Yeah. So if he's been in trouble with the law before, he hears that, and now he says, uh-oh, I'm in trouble again. Right, and now have some decision making. Hopefully he just turns around and runs away because this is not a good idea. Right, so again, it gives you different levels to work with.
If somebody wanted to start, you know, doing training with you, what do they got to do? Where do they find you? And, you know, and do you do online classes? Now during the pandemic, you know, what have you done to?
We are the world headquarters to American Cane self-defense training. And we also have instructors that are trained to go ahead and do this, but it's a very simple conversation, and it's with a text. Every day, people have mobile phones and they can text. It's 3 letters that they text. The letters CCC, which stand for Cane Clarity Call. And what we want to do is bring clarity to the topic of training,
Right.
and find out how it is that we can serve you best, and then give you a blueprint right there and tell you this is what you do first, second, and third. In other words, bringing clarity to the timeline of training and what's involved. Since the pandemic, we have trained and certified over 100 cane leaders
Wow.
from all over the world in the comfort and the safety of their homes.
Right.
And it's delivered using the technology that allows myself and the staff to keep our eyes on you. Now, when you compare that to trying just to learn it from a video, or trying to piece videos together on YouTube,
Right.
I don't know if you're doing that, number one. I don't know if you're doing it, also I don't know if you're doing it correctly, if you're even doing it.
Right.
So where's the support, guidance, and accountability there? With this technology and this platform, I can see you right across the screen, and I can say, Jose, I love the way you're stepping through on that power shot. Do me a favor and keep up that cover hand. Check, there's the corrective.
Got it.
And it's just like you were in a classroom. So these days, we can deliver the training anywhere, tailor-made for situations like this. And during pandemic times, I think we've taken and we've had the ability to do something that is productive during times of adversity. And if you listen to what our caners say from all over the world, it's been an enjoyable journey.
Awesome. Awesome. So where can they find you on? Do you have a website that
The
they can
website
go
is
to?
AmericanCaneSelfDefense.com.
Okay.
AmericanCaneSelfDefense.com. And there's an 800 number worldwide. It's 800-289-8188. And it begins with a simple text and a conversation where they text the letters CCC to 305-745-7839.
Nice. Okay. And you're on social media as well?
Social media, YouTube. The YouTube is
YouTube.
American Cane Self-Defense. We have the public Facebook
Okay.
page, which is American Cane Self-Defense again, and we have our private groups to give support and accountability once you're enrolled in the program. So thus far, very pleased with it in
Yeah.
terms of results.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It was,
Please, thank you for the opportunity.
No, it was
Thank you.
awesome.